Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 138 based on novel. So let's start. Under Barbata's constructed hell training, Luo Feng instead seemed to become even crazier. The little demon's words too slowly changed from the initial stupid, to average, to very weak, and finally, still passable. And the golden horned beast was spending all its energy on the deities of the world and absolute space, along with the training of the gold origin laws. This way time passed, the loser's circle duels didn't take much of Luo Feng's energy. In fact, they became a place to test his strengths. Barbata's hell training, however, was something that took up all his energy every day. Time passed, even the great beings who had completely grasped the time origin laws may be able to shortly stop or reverse time. However, the universe itself had automatic recovery abilities, even the most powerful beings were unable to strongly warp or affect the universe's flow. The broadcast of the Loser's Circle duels were like a television series, being broadcasted non-stop. After all, there were over 9,000 participants. It was hard to avoid special situations where the battle times had to extend or delay a few days. China year 2069, March 2nd, the final day of the duels. Virtual universe, floating island above the Ganwu continent in a luxurious living room of a large construct. Dressed in a simple white robe, an old man stood there while politely bowing, sword deity. Beside him was an intrepid man dressed in golden armor. His face was filled with gold scales and on his forehead was a curve, like an arc-blade golden horn. His entire being was like a ground and sky-splitting golden battle blade. Even in the virtual universe, that powerful consciousness and pressure from it was enough to make even a universe-level warrior's consciousness crumble. If it were Luo Feng who saw this person, he would be shocked, someone who looks so much like Baikalo, only that his green scales have turned gold. This is the Luo Feng you speak of. The golden armored man looked at the screen. On the screen was a broadcast of a match that was about to happen, yes. Today is the last day of the duels, and this battle should be the last day's most exciting one. The old man dressed in a simple white robe smiled. If you are introducing him, you think, this punk has the right to enter the universe top 1000? The golden armored man asked, sword deity, you'll know the moment you watch it. The white-robed man said. On the screen. Dressed in a dark grey armor carrying that dark golden long rod, Luo Feng was facing a dual blade-wielding dwarf youth, Rumble. The dwarf youth turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed forward, immediately reaching close to Luo Feng. However, with a poof sound, the expressionless Luo Feng on the dark cloud shuttle who had golden energy wrapped about him, immediately became a golden light and easily escaped. Go. Rumble. A golden blade appeared in mid-air amidst the golden energies, swiftly emanating about. It immediately attacked that dwarf youth. The dwarf youth roared. As a green energy was emanating from his body and the two blades were brandished, almost as though his entire body had become a huge wave to receive the blows of the golden rainbow. Just as the golden rainbow drew close, it actually did a perfect S-shaped arc and brushed past the side of the blades, immediately slicing through the opponent's head. Luo Feng, victory. Within the living room, what do you think? The simple-dressed old man smiled. Not bad at all. The golden armored man nodded. This little punk already has a grasp of the spirit reader controller's essence. His level 5 spirit weapon Dark Cloud Shuttle, its use is actually relaxed and perfect. And his instantaneous dodging ability is extremely fast, and obviously relaxed. That Nanshan armament, when infused with the golden origin laws and unleashed together, it is as strong and piercing as the sun. Normally, the users have difficulty changing its direction. However, he actually managed to, in short distance, doing an S-shaped complex maneuver while relaxed. He's already made great progress with the first form, his basics are exceptional. The golden armored man nodded, following which he creased his eyebrows. However, from my estimate, with this amount of strength, he should at most make it into the ranges of 3,000 to 5,000 of the entire universe, 1008 universe countries, a million absolute geniuses gathered. To make it into the top 1,000 was too difficult. Watch this one. The white-robed old man pointed at the screen, swiftly picking out the battle of Luo Feng and Rong Jun from that year. Rong Jun. I've heard of him. I heard he's your Ganwu universe country's most outstanding youth. The golden armored man looked until the end and said softly, this Rong Jun is indeed strong. However, for him to get the number 1 spot with his level of strength, there's no possibility at all. Although, making it into the top 10 of the universe, there's still some chance in that. No chance at all. The white-robed old man was shocked greatly. In this genius battle, there's a super genius. The golden armored man couldn't help but exclaim, even more powerful than the number one geniuses from previous competitions. His space origin law's comprehension exceeds a large amount of sector lords. Ah? The white-robed old man was shocked. As for Luo Feng, I know why you've shown me this footage. The golden armored man exclaimed. The most shocking thing is, when he competed with Rong Jun, his flying and dodging speed back then was obviously taxing, the control was rough, purely relying on spirit energy to control the directions. Compared to that, having taken a look at that broadcast, his control of the Dark Cloud shuttle is already very perfect. The control of the Nanshan armament too, his improvement is very shocking. His comprehension of the origin laws has risen quite a bit too, right? How long does your Ganwu Universe country's internal selection, the loser's circle matches last? The golden armored man asked. Not even 3 years. The white-robed old man replied, not even 3 years. The golden armored man couldn't help but say, this Luo Feng, was he hiding his power during his battle with Rong Jun? No, through his 9,374 matches in every battle, his improvement was very obvious. The white-robed old man exclaimed, before these matches, he was at most the top 10 of our universe country. And now, with less than 3 years passing, probably only Rong Jun is his match. Many of the undying in our Ganwu secret area are all watching him. His improvement speed is too shocking, and in the loser's circle duels, his opponents aren't strong. Hence, they haven't been able to force him to use his true strength. I even suspect, his true strength is even greater than what he's been displaying. The white-robed old man said, and from right now to the final duels, there's still quite a bit of time, he can continue to improve. The golden armored man curled his lips and smiled. If he continues to improve, up to the pinnacle duels of the geniuses from the 1008 universe countries, he may actually make it into the top 1000. However, it's still hard to say. When the two undyings from the Ganwu secret area and the virtual universe company were discussing Luo Feng was in the preparation room of Arena 00001. Within the room, this Luo Feng, how is his improvement so fast? The teacher from the secret area said that Luo Feng is able to be ranked as the number 2 genius of our universe country. When the black-haired youth dressed in dark grey armor appeared in the preparation room, it immediately aroused many soft discussions. The duels had lasted a little less than 3 years. Luo Feng's shocking improvement speed had attracted the attention of many strong warriors, madmen. A strong thick voice resounded. Luo Feng turned to look. It was an almost 1-story tall savage Rong Jun. His hair was still messy as always and he was still barefooted. Savage. Luo Feng shouted too. Ha ha ha. Savage laughed loudly. A smile too appeared on Luo Feng's face. These two had always addressed each other with their names before. This sudden nickname call was also a joke. Luo Feng, your improvement is huge. You haven't relaxed at all in these 3 years. Savage said very respectfully to Luo Feng. No matter how powerful a genius was, it was mostly his natural talent that was high. If he didn't work hard, he would ultimately still be eliminated. Luo Feng's huge improvement, one could only imagine how hard he worked secretly. I don't dare to relax. Luo Feng shook his head. With you in front, how could I dare? Attention all. Enter the arena. The organizer from the virtual universe company shouted. Immediately, the 1000 geniuses followed the pathway into the arena. Today there weren't any spectators. 1000 absolute geniuses from the different galaxies of the Ganwu universe country stood there, looking at the giant before them. Before the 1000 most exceptional geniuses of the Ganwu universe country was a giant who was at least 8 m tall. Beside him, even Savage would look like a little doll. This giant was wearing a scaled battle robe and a helmet. His entire being emanated a bloody energy. His eyes seemed like the death god gazing at the group of geniuses. Bated breaths. 1000 geniuses, they couldn't help but perspire from their foreheads. In the virtual universe, just his aura alone is that terrifying? Luo Feng too couldn't help but control his body's nervousness. His forehead naturally perspiring cold sweat as well. Under this pressure, perspiring cold sweat from the forehead was a body's natural defense mechanism. Congratulations to you all. An ice-cold voice resounded throughout the arena. You 1000 are our Ganwu universe most exceptional. You all have the right to represent our universe country, to compete with the other universe countries and fight it out with their geniuses. However, these pinnacle duels, the difficulty will be much greater than the battles before. 1008 universe countries, some universe countries have even wider and more vast territories, with many more galaxies. Because each universe country's situation differs, the internal selection time is different too. Hence, the entire human race, final genius pinnacle duels, will only begin a year and a half from now. This 1.5 years is your chance to improve yourselves. Luo Feng returned to Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-star Bay. It finally ended, the loser's circle duels have ended. Luo Feng exclaimed, the duels may have ended, however your training still hasn't. On his shoulder, the fist-sized little demon shouted, Luo Feng, your Nanshan armament at this moment, at most can only produce 5 golden blades simultaneously. And it's still very forced, you should rather use 3 blades. Only by doing so, your current strength will be at its strongest. A person could force himself to lift a 100 kilograms knife. However, his attack may be the strongest by using a 30 kilograms knife instead. One logic. Controlling 5 golden blades, every blade would become clumsy and awkward, understood? Luo Feng nodded, following which he laughed. Reminiscing these 3 years, indeed his improvement had shocked many people. In truth, back then when he first joined the elimination, the Golden Horned Beast had just reached the universe level for a little over 2 years. Meaning, a level 5 domain and stepping into the Gold Origin Law's gateway, these were the fruits of his labor between the years 2064 and 2066. And right now with close to 3 years passing, it wasn't weird his achievements had increased by a high margin. The nurturing of my second clone is almost done too. Luo Feng anticipated his second clone, the Mosha Clan's birth. When the internal selection of the Gunwu universe had just ended, in the distant universe country far from the Gunwu universe country, the barbaric universe country's internal selection was still ongoing. The barbaric universe country got its name for this one reason. The reason being that there were 2 very fearsome human races there, the Manka and the Huangshan races. These 2 were bloodlines that ranked in the top 10 of the humans of the universe. Even without any training, when they reached maturity, they would easily become powerful domain lords. To be able to have a bloodline that reached an evolution of such a stage. The ancestors of the 2 races naturally had many undying. Although the population of these 2 races was extremely small, the core of the entire barbaric universe country had a very powerful imperial family. There was once a sector lord who snatched away an infant of the Manka race. As soon as he was discovered, the Manka planet sent out a group of Undying to destroy the entire organization that the sector lord was in. Even the 2 Undyings in that organization were killed. As for that sector lord that actually dared to snatch that infant, he was tortured for millions of years until his lifespan reached its end and died tragically. Anyone who dares to touch the infants of the Manka race will die a horrible death. Anyone who dares touch the infants of the Huangshan race will also be killed mercilessly. The Manka and Huangshan people regarded a death in battle as the greatest honor. However, should anyone ever snatch their infants and use their bloods, they would have in turn offended the entire race. The Manka planet, as the home of the Manka people, was covered in an extremely vast god country. Within Manka planet itself was an oval-shaped castle. The guards at the entrance were all universe level. Congratulations, Your Majesty, congratulations. The 2 sector lords smiled as they looked at a youth casually sitting at a dining table and eating a feast. This Manka youth had the traditionally good looks of the Manka people, dressed in a silver armor, black hair, eating heartily, muttering, "What's there to congratulate about? It's just a slot in the name list, utterly simple." The 2 sector lords exchanged glances and laughed. Your Majesty. The chubbier of the 2 sector lords smiled and said, the Gunwu universe country's internal selection had already ended. Gunwu universe country? The Manka youth looked up, creasing his eyebrows. From what I heard, my royal father said that the country leader of the Gunwu universe country is very powerful. However, in the past 100 genius competitions, they haven't produced anyone worthy at all. There's one in this competition that you have to pay attention to. The fat sector lord said respectfully. Speak. The Manka youth lowered his head and quickly finished the food on the dining table. The 2 sector lords exchanged glances and laughed. This royal prince had the good qualities of the Manka people's tradition, which was that he loved to eat. He loved to battle. He was loud and boorish. However, even though the Manka people were loud and boorish, their mental capacity was extremely high. Hence, they were very intelligent. And only because of that they were able to work together with the Huangshan race and govern over the barbaric universe country. Your Majesty. The fat sector lord smiled. The Gunwu universe country has produced an absolute genius called Rome June. His achievements in the ground and space law origins are high. He's already reached a point where he can leave a mirror image of himself. Mirror image? The Manka youth shook his head violently. Right. The 2 sector lords nodded simultaneously. That's troublesome. The Manca youth slapped the table and stood up, leaving a mirror image in space. That's not due to some simple explosion in instantaneous speed. And he even has made progress in the ground origin laws? With the two combined, his attack must be incredibly fierce and powerful, to the point that it would be almost unblockable, yes. The two sector lords nodded. This Manca youth was the current Manca planet's most exceptional genius of this generation. From young, he had received the guidance of many of the Undying. Hence his vision and knowledge was extremely high. Having heard a little of the information, he was able to already imagine the battle styles and strength of his opponents. Of course, even though he was the most exceptional genius, in truth, the number of star-level youths on Manca planet wasn't even 1,000, Your Majesty. According to the information we've gathered and along with our deductions, this youth called Rong Jun has the power to make it into the universe's top 10. Also, from the information, we are able to conclude that he's been hiding his true power all this while. Even during that last battle he may not have used his full strength. The Fat Sector Lord continued, he even said his goal was to become the universe's number 1, top 10? Number 1? The Manca youth stared hard. How come they are all so arrogant? Although, their powers are not bad either. There are too many universe countries. However, this group of arrogant punks, they'll all get wiped out by me. The number 1 position is mine. The two sector lords smiled. The battle spirit of this majesty was definitely sufficient, but this was after all a pinnacle fight between the best of the entire human race. There were geniuses who came with superior bloodlines, while those with weaker bloodlines usually had very large populations. Picking one out of the tens of billions to even trillions, normally they would be even stronger than those picked out of hundreds, Your Majesty. In the Gunwu universe, besides Rong Jun, there's another called Luo Feng. The Fat Sector Lord said, another one? The Manca youth stared. No, the Fat Sector Lord shook his head. His strength is much weaker than Rong Jun's. However, the thing we have to take note of was that compared to 3 years ago, his rate of improvement is incredible. I guess, he definitely has the chance to make it into the top 1,000. He is also extremely calm during battle, he may even kill those stronger than himself. Hence, Your Majesty has to take note of him and not get careless, I say, my fat uncle. The Manca youth was restless. For someone who has the chance to make it into the top 1,000? Don't talk to me about these sort of people. They are of no challenge or threat to me at all. The top 1,000 of the entire universe has no difficulty for me at all. However, from that top 1,000, the treatment for their ranks are different. My aim is to take one step at a time to reach heaven, immediately making it into the upper echelon chore of the Virtual Universe Company's primal secret area. Hence I asked you to take note of those that are able to make it to the top 10. As for that person called Luo Feng? Don't bother, I'll settle him in one move. The two sector lords exchanged glances and smiled. Then we'll await the day Your Majesty enters the primal secret area. Within the vast universe, the human race was one of the top pinnacle of races. They took up a great amount of the universe itself. And at this time, the internal selections for the geniuses of the 1008 universe countries, many of which were still going on. There were many that had ended too. The absolute geniuses that were ranked first or second, or any that had any decent ability or stood out as a threat, were all being researched on by the many universe countries. Gunwu Universe Country, in a vast space. A giant stood within that space and the space around him was completely warped. It was impossible to even make out his appearance in that space. Wu, I made you stay in the Gunwu secret area to nurture the younger generation. From the entire universe country, you picked out the top 100 million geniuses and trained them in the best place with the best facilities. However, Wu's universe country's most exceptional were separately Rong Jun and Luo Feng. And both are not from the Wu Gunwu secret area at all. The voice was booming, the surrounding space almost seemed like it was about crumble. The three Undying dressed in simply white robes all bowed, cold sweat beading profusely from their foreheads. Do you all still have any use? The thick booming voice was like a huge axe cutting into the souls of these three Undying, causing them to go completely pale, kneeling down simultaneously. To be able to be even stronger than those from the Gunwu secret area means that they are both exceptional. Especially that Rong Jun, he has the strength to make it to the top 10 of the entire universe. That's a good thing too. I hope he can enter the primal secret area. For the Wu Gunwu universe country, that would be extremely beneficial to us in the future. The thick booming voice's rage within was obviously lesser than before. Nurturing these younger generations has wasted a lot of your time. The three of you should go train properly first and raise your own strengths. As for training the younger generation, Wu will arrange for others to take over. The thick booming voice seemed to have no obstruction at all in this space, immediately reaching the ears and souls of the three Undyings. Yes, country leader. The three replied simultaneously, go on. Only at this time did the three Undyings let out a sigh of relief and left respectfully. The top 1,000 of the Ganwu universe country had 1.5 years of time to rest. Naturally, no one actually dared to relax at all. Within this 1.5 years, whether it was Rong Jun or Luo Feng, or even the others suppressed by these two, and also the geniuses nurtured by the imperial family of the Ganwu universe country, they were all training extremely hard. Rong Jun wanted to become the strongest. Luo Feng was even more unwilling to go to battle and lose. As for the geniuses of the Ganwu universe country imperial family, they were actually beaten by both Luo Feng and Rong Jun, who didn't have as good facilities to train in. Naturally, they were even more unhappy. They were all working hard. Lost, Luo Feng, you lost again. I still lost. All right, your 3 matches with Rong Jun today will end here. In the desert of the slaughterhouse, the little devil Barbata waved his hand, and immediately the savage Rong Jun who was standing beside vanished. This was the Rong Jun simulated by the slaughterhouse. As for his power, knowledge, and experience, these were all based on reality. Luo Feng stood in the desert, creasing his eyebrows. I still lost, Luo Feng. Don't be discouraged. Compared to Rong Jun, the main thing is that your origin law comprehension difference is too huge. You've only had comprehension of the gold origin laws, and have even improved quite a bit. But that Rong Jun, his ground origin law comprehension is not below yours, and his comprehension of the space laws are deep too. The absolute difference is too huge. It's not strange at all that you've lost. The little devil Barbata said. Luo Feng nodded. For the simulation of an opponent in the slaughterhouse, one could set his experience and knowledge to be very high. Because that simulated Rong Jun knew some of Luo Feng's moves, understanding himself and the enemy, making his victories even more clear-cut and simple. His defense is too strong. Ground origin laws emphasizes defense. Luo Feng exclaimed, and space origin laws, when fused with his domain, allows his control strength in the area to increase. His defense, even with my 3 golden blades, I still can't stop him. He was originally very confident. However, just this Rong Jun had stopped him, right? Luo Feng, the Mosha Clan clone should be coming out in just 3 days. The little demons said, right? Luo Feng's expression revealed that of anticipation. The Mosha Clan was known as the strongest assassination race in the universe. To be able to gain such a title amongst countless races, that was quite a feat. Just the damaged skin of a dead Mosha Clan could be sold for such a heavenly price. This Mosha Clan being must be incredibly powerful. Earth, Asian continent, China, Yangzhou base. Early morning, Luo Feng stepped on the dark cloud shuttle and became a beam of golden light and immediately vanished into the east horizon. In mid-air above the East Sea, Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle and looked east. The red burning sun began to slowly rise out of the horizon. This level 5 spirit weapon is indeed different from a level 3 spirit weapon. Luo Feng lowered his head to look at the dark cloud shuttle below him. This was bought from the latest Ganwu auction. The Ganwu auction was held once every 3 years. The first time was at the end of 2065. He spent quite a bit of money during that time. And at the end of 2068, there was another one that was held. During that auction, he was engaged in a loser's circle duels. Hence he specially requested for 10 days of rest to attend the auction. The loser's circle duels were able to be rescheduled. As there were over 9,000 people and within those 3 years of time, special events may happen unexpectedly, hence the timings were more flexible. There should have originally been 100 matches that day. However, back then, he had discussed with his opponents earlier on and they had come to an agreement. It was only due to this that the organizing party agreed to the request and allowed him to attend the Ganwu auction. 1 dark cloud shuttle and 2 portions of swelling water fruit had cost me 1 mixed element. Luo Feng exclaimed, luckily I still have the money my younger brother invested. During the 2065 auction, because he purchased the Mosha Clan skin, the Nanshan armament, and the swelling water fruit, he had only a few $100 billion universe dollars remaining after that. This was not even worth 1 mixed element. These 3 years, he hadn't been earning any money. Luckily, after the end of the previous auction, his little brother already had over 2 trillion universe dollars. After the past 3 years of investment, even though he had lost money past his capital before, he still managed to increase it to a total of 6 mixed elements. In these 3 years, his earnings were close to 200% of profits. Usually, the higher one goes up the ladder of capital and wealth, the harder it got to have such high turnovers. Even the large organizations like the Universe First Bank or Universe Galaxy Bank specialized investment departments had invited and consulted his younger brother Luo He. By working for myself, I get to call all the shots, that's the best. Working for others and going to those departments, I still have to listen to the orders from above. That is just too troublesome, I won't go. This was something he had said to himself before. Stepping on the dark cloud shuttle, standing above the East Sea, the amount of money I have is still not enough. Luo Feng thought, the golden horned beast, the cloud contact vine, even the Mosha Clan clone. They will all require a large amount of money to nurture. And even myself, I require money too. From a theoretical point of view, the golden horned beast should be considered Luo Feng's main body. However, in his subconscious, Luo Feng still thought of his earth body as the main. The golden horned beast is at the universe level right now. I don't even have enough money for the metals it requires to swallow. However, the deities of the world training is simply a bottomless pit. When speaking of the cloud contact vine, the higher up it evolved, the harder it got. Right now the swelling water fruit is very effective. However, as it grows more, the money poured into it would be a bottomless pit too. Back then when Hu Yangbo made his cloud contact vine reach the undying level, the amount of money spent on it was simply terrifying. As for Mosha Clan clone, he still knew very little about it. Luo Feng's earth body, just the Nanshan armament, the dark cloud shuttle and the nutrition cabin had cost a lot of money. And this was only the star level. As his sights and boundaries grew, the cost may become even more terrifying. Luo Feng had already seen a few absolute treasures at the auctions. Just one of these would cost several thousand mixed elements. However, these were treasures that Barbata was too lazy to even explain to Luo Feng at the moment. The golden horned beast is at universe level 7. Cloud contact vine is at universe level 6. My body though is still at star level 9. Luo Feng thought, from now on, my own body's training will stop. The golden horned beast's universe level 1 to 3 required 15 years, 4 to 6 required 20 years each, a total of 60 years, and the 7th, 8th and 9th level required 120 years each. As for reaching the Domain Lord level from the universe level, that required 500 years. The entire process of the universe levels was supposed to require close to 1,000 years. From year 2055, while entering the universe level 6 till now 2059 October, it had already been about 4 years. Using the optimum metal groupings to nurture and let it swallow, its efficiency was raised to 56 times, this was comparable to a total of 224 years. And Luo Feng stepping through from level 7 to 8 required 240 years. Right now it was still at universe level 7, a little more, and it could reach the universe level 8. As for the cloud contact vine, back in the world within a world it was already at universe level 2. And back then it hadn't completely digested the powerful life fruit. Plus, it had eaten over 100 swelling water fruit. With all these and with enough time, it had long grown to universe level 6. The only thing was the jump from level 6 to 7 was quite a bit harder. It's about to be born. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Rumble. In mid-air a triangular black universe ship suddenly appeared. Luo Feng entered the ship. The ship began to accelerate into the sky, piercing past the Earth's atmosphere and headed to Mars.C solar system, Mars surface, in a large ravine. The universe ship descended. Within the ship's resting chambers, Luo Feng sat cross-legged, his entire consciousness entering his internal world. Within his internal world, the entire golden continent was enshrouded in the golden mist. Laying flat along the large land, the golden horned beast which was at least 10 li long raised its head, its dark golden eyes looking at the oval golden egg in mid-air, almost. The golden horned beast's cold eyes had a sense of anticipation. The incomparably thin oval-shaped golden egg began to crack open, following which it descended down, revealing an extremely peculiar black crystal. This crystal had a total of 10,081 surfaces and on each surface was incomparably complex golden engravings. The engravings were completely fused with the crystal. This was the core of the Mosha Clan demon, the life crystal, appear. A sound resounded throughout the large golden continent. Hoo-ha black energies swiftly flowed from the life crystal before condensing together. A naked yellow-skinned, black short-haired man appeared. It was a naked Luo Feng, who was similar in appearance to Luo Feng's actual self. Mars, sand filled the entire land and surface. Luo Feng, who was dressed in a dark red armor, along with the Luo Feng dressed in black cloth, were with the enormous mountain-like golden horned beast on the surface. Interesting. The two Luo Fengs and the golden horned beast exchanged glances. As for the true life core, The core itself was able to immediately appear within the true body, or within the Golden Horned Beast's body, or even within the Mosha Clan's body. Return. The Golden Horned Beast vanished and only the two Luo Fengs remained. Return. The dark red armored Luo Feng vanished. Return. The black-clothed Luo Feng vanished too. All three of them entered the internal world, leaving behind only a transparent crystal ball in the external world. On its surface were incomparably complex golden engravings, glimmering with gold light. The black-clothed Luo Feng appeared, leaving the life core alone in the external world is very unsafe. The black-clothed Luo Feng thought, as for this Mosha Clan demon, change. All that could be seen was the black-clothed Luo Feng's energy flow seemed to change, swiftly becoming the tall and powerful Rong Jun, and later changing into a 10-li-long golden horned beast. Finally he even changed into a thick and sturdy tree, and back to the black-clothed Luo Feng. Energy life forms are indeed special. Luo Feng smiled. The Mosha Clan were energy life forms. They didn't have a fixed external appearance, they could change it at will. Of course, if they wanted to change into an enormous giant, maintaining their body's defense of at least a universe level 2, the energy usage would be huge. Hence normally they only changed to forms which weren't too big. Mosha Clan, named the strongest assassination clan. So it's because of this. Luo Feng could feel the difference and special properties of the Mosha Clan's body. It's indeed true that they are favored by space itself. After obtaining the third body, the Mosha Clan's body, Luo Feng naturally grasped the natural abilities and talents of the Mosha Clan. Its natural secret techniques, cloning. In life form terms, the Mosha Clan, when compared to the humans or Golden Horned Beast, was completely different. At least humans and Golden Horned Beasts were still under the category of flesh and blood life forms. However, the Mosha Clan, as an energy life form, it didn't even have a soul. Accurately speaking, that life crystal was its soul, and its source of energy. Hence, the Mosha Clan weren't afraid of spirit attacks. At the same time they are unable to use any spirit attacks or control any weapons. Hence the Mosha Clan all walked the path of fighters. And its natural abilities such as cloning, allowed the Mosha Clan demons to be able to clone the life force and spirit energies of their target. Their own body could transform, and the moment it copied the target's soul energies, even undying beings, unless they used their spirit energy to enter their bodies and scan, from just the outer appearance or energy, they were completely undetectable. This was no longer just a disguise. It was cloning. Natural technique, cloning. You'd never expect that your favorite grandson, I have already become one of the Mosha Clan. It may seem like an extremely simple ability, however it allowed the Mosha Clan to become the most fearsome assassination clan of the entire universe. They were able to transform into every kind of life forms, copying any kinds of life energies. Of course, once the target suspected something and used spirit energy to dig and scan, they would be revealed, favored by space itself, so special. Luo Feng felt the energies of the Mosha Clan. He could vaguely feel the space about him rippling. But his Earth body and the Golden Horned Beast body were both unable to feel this absolute space. Luo Feng fiercely unleashed his technique. Simultaneously the black crystal with 10,081 surfaces began to slightly revolve. Its complex golden engravings on its surfaces rippled, almost as though it was answering to the universe space. All that could be seen on that sand-filled Mars surface was the sudden appearance of 2 Luo Fengs, and gradually another, 3 Luo Fengs, 4 Luo Fengs, 5 Luo Fengs. Luo Feng stopped. Too special, this is just marvelous. This Mosha Clan's movement and flying is so relaxed, it's simply too unbelievable. Luo Feng's expression was that of complete shock. I only have very little understanding of absolute space. These years, I've only managed to touch the door of the space origin laws, and did not even consider re-entering. However, even with that little comprehension, using the Mosha Clan body to unleash it, my speed is faster and even more unpredictable. I can even feel the ripples in space. Luo Feng was extremely shocked. Switch. The Mosha Clan body vanished and the dark red armored Luo Feng appeared. The earth body of Luo Feng looked at his surroundings. The peculiar feeling was totally gone and everything felt normal again. This Mars was like Mars from before. The universe was still like the universe, no longer having the special feeling from the universe space ripples like before. Rumble. Luo